this one, we hole up in Triabunna for 3 nights. Our first cemetery tour, and certainly a cemetery with a view. We visit Maria Island, Painted Cliffs, Darlington, Fossil Cliffs in a pretty big day. The winds are certainly a battle, but it's got to be in there or you just won't get it.
Wednesday, 23rd of the 8th, 2023. Another stunning day in Tasmania. A little bit of a thin breeze after some rain overnight. This is day 25, the relentless march of time. That is in fact the bay down there. Hooked up, ready to go. Bit of a thin wind. Some pretty cool clouds. We're at the Big 4 in Carl's Bay. Fabulous amenities, but just a shit house place to get gear into. It's going to be down the bottom of my list. Next stop, probably Triabunna.
Wall mural amenities block, Carl's Bay Big 4 van park. Bit of a fixer-upper. There's a few of these all around Tasmania.
There's some pretty solid money tied up in seafaring craft here in the harbour at Triabunna. If I had a spare mil or so, I might make an offer on. Many boats, many bank accounts. Jack Sparrow, it's on a very much a Basham Crasham Derby sort of a boat. Jack Sparrow, Hobart. Oh, got a Taz salmon sign on it. Yeah, right. Looks like one of those bash 'em up derby type vehicles. Still quite a few fans of the wind-powered vessel here in Triabunna, eastern Tasmania. A few big boys getting ready to go out, catching whatever they catch, looking for the lighthouses to be lighthousing so they don't run into certain disaster. Iron Maiden. I do love these boat names. It's a wind-driven craft. The Triabunna van and cabin park. I think I'm saying Triabunna right. Triabunna. Not many here. A little bit expensive, to be honest.
Should only ever talk value, not price. Here we $45 a night, and you had to pay for showers. Places like Carl's Bay, for example, $31 a night, free showers.
Tomorrow we're off to Maria Island. It is Thursday the 24th of August 2023. Day 26, wow. Day 27 we go to Maria Island, not Bruny Island. I'm looking forward to that, should be good. A little bit more action on a big boat out in the Tasman Sea.
Dead Island, Triabunna, Tasmania. There are certainly dead folks out there that have been there for a long time. You can head on out there at low tide or wade out. It's great for yourself.
This is Dead Island, beautifully named place. Shame we can't visit it this afternoon. Apparently we need low tide.
The pub in Triabunna, on the boat to Maria Island, headed out through the bay, past Point Home Lookout Lighthouse. Used to be important for the movement of wood chips. Bit of ex-industry down this way. A few dolphins frolicking alongside the boat on the way out. Never got the gear out. Pretty short journey. I think it's about 20 odd kilometres. Difficult to swim though if you were an incarcerated convict back in the day. Maria Island now, and we had to go hard to make that first 4 kilometres out to the Painted Cliffs before the tide got any higher. So probably shouldn't have tried to capture any video on the way out because there's a bit of ordinary stuff here.
A bit of a rainbow out there across the bay. I think it's a bay. Head down to the Painted Cliffs on Maria Island. Shaky video. Looks like rain. Very windy. Bit cool. Unfortunately, we're not going to get too good a view of it because the tide's doing its thing and you need to be here at low tide to get around out there. But these are the Painted Cliffs. At least we got a little bit of a look at it.
We'd be sitting here for another week or more.
Looking around the bay on Maria Island, just near the Painted Cliffs, a bit more white sand, a bit more nicely coloured water. Some threatening looking clouds, it's quite cool. It was a bit windy and it was a bit rainy. Big trees, reasonably prevalent on Maria Island. Said trees just in front there, arching over the road. They look like they've got seeds on them that the treacherous and destructive cockatoo would get right amongst. We're walking around somewhere on Maria Island between the Painted Cliffs and Oates House. There's a lot of animal shit here. Wombats, kangaroos, and some unidentified.
The elusive thylacine, perhaps.
This is Oast House on the track between Painted Cliffs and Darlington. We're not going to see much here. You probably need to spend a week here to get across this whole island. Back on the main track into Darlington after going to Oast House from the Painted Cliffs, looking down across the bay, a little bit into the sun, ferries back, and then down there to Darlington. Yeah, that's good. We're currently in, I think it's Ruby Hunter's cottage. Ruby Hunt's cottage. Did communications.
We used to line it. You can read some of the pages if you want. And she was the communicator.
Something just like that at home. Walls made out of the old crates lined with newspapers. Got time to come in and read the newspapers. So they're newspapers that were found on these walls. Fascinating stuff.
There she is, talking about it.
More newspapers. Mrs. Hunt making the news. Ryan to be hanged today. Ronald Ryan, how about that? Wow, wow, wow. I think that's the third fireplace. Must get cold here. We're thinking this is his bedroom due to there being a bed in here, and that's the view out the bedroom window of Ruby Hunt's cottage. The old boat's still down there waiting to leave. So there you have it, Ruby Hunt's cottage. So we've just had lunch on Maria Island.
So you've got to bring your own. There are 0 retail outlets on Maria Island. No coffee, no food, nothing.
12 Apostles Cottage sites.
Disclaimer, following not really true.
Biggest population of anything on Maria Island is wombats. And as we all know, wombats are man-killing, eye-gouging, horrific beasts. Closely related to the drop bear, which will jump on you when you're in your tent or on the ground, jump out just out of the trees.
More astonishing views as we make our way around the island towards the fossil cliffs.
Out that way somewhere is Freycinet Peninsula. I'm going to guess that's it, right in front of me, where we were a few days ago. Just have a look at that down there. Clear, crystal clear water. Directly into the sun, but the Maria Island Cemetery possibly has one of the best views in Australia. I wonder, can I request to be popped into the ground here? Given that sign in 1825 to 1942, I guess I'm not going in there. Nice view, but interesting. Charlie Lapham, you've been dead a while. There's a bit of a story about Thomas Atkins, died in an accident at the cement works. I can only imagine what sort of an accident that might have been back in the day. And here's Thomas and Rosa. She was 94, way back in 1942. Astonishing age.
There's some evidence of agriculture.
Another look out across the bay. The cement silos and cement works where Tommy Atkins bought it all those years ago. This is across the other side of the bay there, up on the Hunt ladies' communications house that we went through much earlier in the day. The old cement silos on Maria Island, someone told us that they tried to knock them down but couldn't.
It didn't look like it'd be real hard. Got to thinking about it, whacking with a big excavator. You got to bring the big excavator over on a big barge. Then you got to take all the stuff away that you knocked down. You could blow them up with explosives, and you you're going to need some big gear to shift the stuff away, and I don't know how big or how deep that bay is, what size boats you can get in there, so perhaps not as easy as I first thought.
The haphazard steelwork in the concrete, I guess very early 1900s. A little bit there about the National Portland Cement Works. More of the buildings that you find on Maria Island. This one's been turned into the information centre, so we'll duck in for a look. As you enter the settlement of Darlington.
Regret number 2, right here, while we were whiling away the last 10 minutes waiting for departure time, I watched a person looking around, looking up, looking down, trying to appear like the average tourist, casually roll a balled up piece of rubbish just down the outside of the leg and kick it over down the bank onto the beach. Now, I should have gone and taken this person to task, but I didn't, so regret number 2 is that one. It was a classic move, and you see these sorts of things from time to time.
So the fish van down on the front at Triabunna. My goodness, there's a little bit of a sunset there this evening too. Quite a bit of deep colour on the edge of those clouds. We ate here twice. I think that fish and chips I had tonight was probably the second best I've had on tour so far. And I had a very tidy steak sandwich there the other day. I wouldn't say it's cheap, wouldn't say it's dear. Good quality, high quality food here. So we went out to Maria Island on this jigger today. Very smooth, like floating in a bathtub really. Interesting, we covered very little of Maria Island. I'm not complaining, we made a decision. And the other one wasn't running anyway. And sometimes you don't know until you get there. If I was doing it again, I'd certainly be going on this one over here. Just because you'll get a better view of some of the cliffs and things like that and circumnavigate the whole island. If you're going to go on the big boat to Maria, I think I would be wanting to stay there for 2 or 3 or 4 days. A lot of walking to do, a lot of camping, and 1 day is probably just not enough. It was a great day. I talk about the Pennicott one going into Wineglass Bay. The boat gives you a great perspective of the coastline, but the actual height on Mount Amos or even out of the lookout gives you a much better perspective on the shape and the colours. So 6 of one, half dozen the other, and it depends on what lights you fire. This is where you come to book on the small boat that circumnavigates the island. Very tidy little shop and cafe with some great photos of painted cliffs and the fossil cliffs and other stuff you see as you circumnavigate Maria Island. Well, there's another session of editing video, photos and sound together. So would we do it again? Triabunna, Maria Island. And I do believe, even though in the video I used Triabunna, that the correct pronunciation is Triabunna. Yes, there's still a lot to do around Triabunna. The purpose of this trip was pretty much strictly Maria Island. And would we do Maria Island again? Sure. But for us, getting both perspectives is probably important. And if we're going to go over again on the big boat, we'd stay for an extended period, as well as do the circumnavigatory trip on a smaller boat, because the photos I saw from that trip, phenomenal. Just great views off the water. So that ends that patch. What's up next? We're going to head down to Lauderdale and South Arm, and we see some outstanding real estate. We visit a number of great beaches with proper, almost Queensland style waves, and another stunning RSL tribute and memorial. Check back, won't be long.